Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss first example program, how to implement classes and objects. Okay. So as you know how to open the Turbo C++, the icon will be present in the desktop. Double click the Turbo C icon so that your Turbo C application will be opened. This is a editor to type your program. Select the file menu. In that, select the new option. So click the file, select the new option. Okay. Then once you select the new file, immediately you need to give the name for the file. Press F2 or you are in the file save option. So give the name. So this is my first example program. So I am giving a example.cpp. Okay. So this is your first C++ program, that is using classes and objects will implement. So once the name has been given, you can start your typing your program. So first I am giving a comment line. Do you remember? This is for multi-line. If you want to give a multi-line, this is a comment line used for multi. So how many lines you will type? All these it will be under a comment. Comments are used to give the meaning for the given instruction. This is just for giving a name of the program. If it is a single line, you can give only 2 backward slash. If it is multi, backward slash star first, then end star with a backward slash. Okay. So here I am giving, this is a program to illustrate usage of classes and objects. So your class contains data members and member function. How to invoke, how to create the object we'll discuss in this particular program. Every program requires header file, hash include, io, stream.h, hash include, conio.h. These two header files are required to execute your program compulsory. So iostream.h is a class. It contains scene and cout object. If you want to do input and output operation, so input output stream header file is required for the support of your input and output operation. Then conio.h, two library functions we are using in the program, that is clr, ser and getSage. For the support of those library functions or as built-in functions, we need conio.h, console input output header file. So please remember the abbreviation. These are the abbreviations important for Viva. What do you mean by conio.h? So it is console input output. That means your output screen and input related, if you want to use, we need a console input output header file. So immediately we are defining the class. Class is a keyword. See, hence it is being changed to the white color. Here I am giving a example as a sample. So class name as a sample. So class is defined within the flower brace, contains your data members and member function. Private is a keyword. In front of the private, compulsory colon. So here I am declaring int s number. Two data members I am declaring here. Char s name. This is the use of array in your program. Here we are using which type of array? Character array. Public. So here we are defining member functions. void input data, input underscore data, or if you don't want, you can use directly input data. So input data. See here, first we'll define inside the program. We are defining inside the class only. A program first I'll explain with the defining inside and defining outside, and a program contains both inside and outside. Cout, enter s number and s name. You need to give these two details. So with the variable accepting with the s number and s name. So do you remember this is a cascading operation? Yes. Within the single scene statement, we are accepting two different values in the variables. Then void is the return type, function name, output data. Output data. So we'll give the definition for the output data. Cout s number. If you want, you can use capital letter. S number equal to the value which is present in the S number, and in the classwork I have given without a termination. You can use in the next line also. So this is your S name. The value present in the S name will be displayed here. So another endl is not yet required. So single line also can type. Next line also can be written. The same thing you can use in the single line or in the next line also. If you terminate here, if you terminate the statement, then the below statement requires cout. If you are not yet terminated, then you can use in the n number of lines. Once you terminate, then cout line will be ended. Okay, na? Then void main. Please follow the structure. See here, I am using how to type the program and how to give the space between one line to another line. How I am using the same way you should also use while writing as well as while typing. Sample is a class name. I am creating an object here S. Okay, CLR SCR to clear the previous output screen. Then S dot input data. This is nothing but invoking the member function along with the object. Dot is a member operator. Through the object we are invoking a member function. With the help of member function we can access the data members directly. Data cannot be accessible. That is a main advantage in the OOPS. That means data cannot be accessed directly without a member function. Without an object, member function cannot be accessed. Both are binded together. Which two? Data members and member functions are binded togetherly into object. Object contains instance of class so that data can be secured. Here in the OOPS concept, we are giving a more importance to the data rather than the function. Output data. Get ch to get the immediate output after keystroke. So each and every line, please press F2. See, if you have a backup UPS, then doesn't matter. If you are not press F2 also, data will be there. If those who are having a power fluctuation problems, please after 2-3 lines keep press F2. Once the program has completed typing, again press once again F2. Once again F2. Okay, not a save as, only save. It will ask sometime overwriting. Press yes. Once the program typing was completed, then go for compilation. Alt F9 is a shortcut key to compile the program. Whatever now I have been completed, this is source code and this is in the human readable format. This program will not be understandable directly by the compiler. Your compiler, that is your processor will understand only machine readable format. So the translator will translate this one. Here we are using compiler is a software to translate the code which is written in the high level language, that is using a C++, will be converted into machine readable format. This process is called as compilation. To do the compilation, what we need to press? Alt F9. Here it is going to check the errors. If any errors are there, it is going to identify the error. See here I have missed the D. So we got one error here. Then there is no any errors. Then you can press the Control F9 to execute. Okay. So I am giving 23 as a S number. Then here please don't type and, only the space. Okay. So give your name. Okay. Press enter. S number, student number equal to 23. S name equal to the name what you have been given. Okay students. See here, once the compilation has been done, then you can press the run. Okay. By pressing the Control F9. Once you press the Control F9, your object file will be converted into executable file called .exe. Exe is used to run your program. Run your program. Did you got the students? See, if you are not doing any mistakes, the format what we have been given in the classwork, if you type it properly without any error, program will execute. Please remember the spelling of include, iostream.h, conio.h should be perfect. Then if the name of the class what you have been given, that should be matched with the name what you have been given in to create the object. To create the object. So each and every line I'm going to define here. See here what we are doing. We are defining the class. This is nothing but class definition. A class definition contains what? Data members and member functions. What are the data members? Yes number and yes name are data members. Data members. What do you mean by data member? Data member are variables which is declared under access specifier within the class definition are called data member. Then here there are two member functions. What are those member functions? For input data and output data. Output data are the member functions. Member functions. These two are the member functions. These two we have defined inside. Both member functions defined inside the class. Both member functions. Both member functions defined inside the class. Both member functions defined inside the class. See, you no need to type while executing this. This is for your understanding purpose I am giving. See, S number and S name both are data members in the program. We have declared one is input data, another one is output data. What? These are member functions. Why member functions are required? To perform a particular task. To perform a particular task, we need member functions. These member functions are declared under access specifier within the class definition. Within the class definition, and the definition of the member function done inside the class like a normal function. Like a normal function. This program is illustrated classes and objects along with member functions defined inside the class. Member functions defined inside the class. Member functions defined inside the class. Defined inside the class definition. Inside the class definitions. If you want to get a multiple comment, what we should use? Yes, with the star. Okay. So the program is to illustrate the usage of classes and objects and member functions defined what? Inside the class. Member functions defined inside the class. And member functions defined inside the class. Did you got it? So suppose if you miss the spelling of that, suppose if you do any mistake with the spelling of the class, you'll get the error. See, undefined symbol SAM and undefined symbol yes and statement missing semicolon. So these are the errors it will come. So this is a sample. Name has to match with the class name. Name has to match with the class name. We got the students. Shall we write the the same example for defining a member function outside the class. Defining a member function outside the class. Okay. If you want to define the member function outside the class, first we need to declare the function. Declare the function. Only the declaration required. The explanation, the definition of the body should be defined outside the class. Okay. So here just declaring the class members and those members need to be defined outside the class. Outside the class. How to define outside the class? So just I am giving a syntax of that. Return type specifier. What is the syntax of the defining a member function outside the class, that is return type specifier, return type specifier, class name, yes, class name, member identity label, scope resolution operator, then member function name, member function name, and it contains body of the function. Isn't it? This is your syntax of the what? Defining a member function outside the class. Based on that, we'll write it. What is a return type? Yes, void is a return type. Void is a return type. What is a class name? Yes, sample is a class name. Then scope resolution operator. What is a function name? Input data is a function name. See the comments for your understanding purpose. Comments are your understanding. What is a void? Void is a return type. Class name, sample is a class name. Scope resolution operator. What is a function name or member function name? Yes, input data is a member function name. Did you got it? Understood? So, the code, what we required? We required enter a particular number, then name accept the values within that. Similarly, we need to define the another function. Which function? Output function. So class name is sample, function name is output data, output data. Okay. See, while typing, please follow the structure. Okay. Yes. There is no change in the main function. There is no change in the main function. This have been given just for your understanding purpose. Just have given the syntax of the class. This you no need to type while executing the program. That means void is return type. You should know this. In the Viva, they'll ask the question, what is the use of void? Every function contains a return type. Any kind of function, any kind of, whether you are returning the value or not. If you are returning int, float, char, double, depending on the which value you are returning. If you are not returning any value, void is a return type you have to use. Return type is compulsory. Is it a return type compulsory in the function definition? Yes, return type is compulsory. Did you got it? Understood? See, now I am deleting the syntax of this because you may get confused. Yes. This is your defining the member function. Yes, outside the class. So the program to illustrate classes and objects and defining a member function. Member functions defined outside the class definition. Using, yes, using scope resolution operator. Just I am typing the operator, that is scope resolution operator. Okay, students. Declaration done inside the class. Definition done outside the class. Syntax, return type, class name, scope resolution operator, function name. Okay. So the same program will execute. Okay. Did you got it? Yes. The same program will write in both defined inside and outside. Defined inside and outside. Both will implement. Now, just I am removing the declaration of this. The definition what we have been given here, this code, just I will replace it here. Yes. That means one function defined inside. Which function we have defined inside now? Yes. Input function defined inside the class. Then output function defined outside the class. Outside the class. Input done inside the class. Output outside the class. Okay. Did you got it? So just the declaration done inside the class and the definition of the output done outside the class using scope resolution operator. Please remember this is very important. Now this program is very important. So while writing in the theory exam, prepare this one. This one is enough to get your complete marks. Let it be whether they will ask inside the class example or outside the class example. Please you practice this program. It will be helpful for both inside the class as well as outside the class definition. Member function definition done inside as well as outside. Both we have done. Here we have done inside the class. Here we have done outside the class. That outside the class definition done declaration inside. Hence it is being terminated. Body, when the body was there, then the function should not terminate. If you terminate, you will get the error. You will get the error. Did you got it? When the body was there, your program should not terminate. Similarly, your main function also has a body. It should not terminate. If you terminate, you will get the error. That means program will never execute. Program will never execute. Understood? Here termination is compulsory. If you miss the termination, then also you'll get the error. Okay. Then, and while defining, if you miss the flower brace also, you'll get the error. Okay. Are you able to see the errors? Yes. What are the things important? Whatever it was being given in the class work, everything is very important. You can written either in one single line or in the next line, but should not terminate. If you terminate, then you'll get the error. Expression syntax error. If you are not terminate and termination done at the end, then you'll not get any error. Hope you understood. I think so completely. This is very important. This I have given in your classwork. So please prepare what is inside. That means inside a class definition. What is outside the class definition? That is member function defined inside the class and outside the class. Inside the class and outside the class definition, both the syntax, and this is an example. And while preparing for the outside, definition of the scope resolution operator is very important. And here, characteristics of your member function. This I have not done in the theory video. Please copy down these notes along with this. So along with this program, I am going to send your characteristics of your member function. Please copy this into your classwork. What is the characteristics? Declaration has to be done within the class. Member functions are declared and defined inside the class definition. Member functions can be defined in two ways. One is inside, another one is outside. If you are defining the member function outside the class, declaring the function inside is compulsory. And the return type what you have used in the declaration should match with the definition if you are doing with the outside. If you are doing with the outside, the return type of declaration and the definition of the member function should match. And the name of the member function should match. And the member function belongs to the class should match with the definition done outside with the member identity label. Member identity label should match. These are the characteristics of your member function. Important question in 2019 supplementary 5 marks question. What is member function? Give the characteristics of member function. 5 characteristics are there. 4, if you write 4 also, you'll get the complete mark. Definition 1 mark. Each characteristics 1 mark. What is the characteristics? Definition of the member functions will be done in 2 ways. One is inside the class, another one is outside the class. Definition of the member function header should match with the declaration. Should match with the declaration. And when we are defining outside, along with the class name, member identity label and the function name should match with a particular class. Return type of the function declaration and function definition should match along with its argument. Along with its argument. Did you got it? And n number of classes can be defined within the single program. And member functions also can has the same name, but while defining, this header should be written properly. Then that particular function belongs to specific class that will be identified by compiler. Okay students, thank you. Hope you understood. We'll execute this one. Yes, if you define inside also, your program will execute. If you define outside also, your program will execute. If you define one is inside, another one is outside also, your program will execute. And one more Viva question students here. They'll ask in the program, by seeing your program, they'll ask one question. In your program, whether you have implemented the member functions inside the class or outside the class. If the member identity scope resolution is there, means you have been defined outside. If the scope resolution is not there, then the member function defined inside the class. So program number 8, that is your function overloading program, is implemented using inside the class. Your simple interest and a quadratic equation, both we implemented using outside the class. By seeing the program itself, you can tell that this is your definition done outside the class. Then memory will be created when the object is created. When the object is created, then your memory will be allocated for your class members. Do you remember? Int A is a declaration. After declaring, only A gets allocated memory in the memory area. Similarly, when the program execution begins with a void main, control will come to the object creation. Then only memory will be allocated for class members. Memory will be allocated for class members. After creating an object only, it's possible to invoke the function along with the object name. Okay students, we'll continue our discussion. Similarly, I will execute all the programs, but I am not typing, which is already been typed. I will explain you how to execute. Okay. Thank you students. We'll meet in the next lab program.